Hey folks, this is BestInSlot, and in tonight's video I'm going to show you a super handy trick that will hopefully make challenge mode very easy for all of you, even on Jurassic difficulty. No matter what the map is, this should make your life a lot easier if you've been struggling with challenge mode. Now before we get started, I should give a shout out to Mildly Inconvenient, who basically came up with this idea in the first place. I'm just showcasing it for you folks at home, but I'm going to link their Reddit post down below. They're a genius. Go and give them a lot of love because this is very clever. And let's get started. I'm just going to show you the first 15 or so minutes, 15-20 minutes, show you how to get the park started, how to make a lot of money, and hopefully make challenge mode nice and easy. It's really cool. I'm really impressed. So we're here on Canada, the first challenge mode a lot of you will attempt, and we're here on Jurassic difficulty. Let's get started. Well, let's talk very quickly about what it is we're trying to do here. The problem with challenge mode, especially on the harder difficulties, is your dinosaurs get sick and the storms and dinosaurs break out, and it's all dinosaur related problems. You have to send out expeditions, blah blah. So what if we could make a profit, a good profit, and build up money and do lots of research and all those challenge mode things and never have to have a single dinosaur in the park? Never have a dinosaur to ever look after. That would make life a lot easier, right? You might not get a 5-star park, but the idea is, by building a park in the way I'm going to show you tonight, you can build a massive park, bring in tons of money, get all your research done, get everything you need set up, and then just stick in some dinosaurs at the end. It should make life a lot easier. I'm not going to pretend it's easy. I'm not going to pretend it's quick. I should say there are definitely faster ways of doing this, and it's a bit of a gimmick. But if you've really been struggling with challenge mode on the harder difficulties, you should probably give this a go. So, let's get started. We've loaded in on the Canadian map. First thing we're going to do, we're going to hop to our control center. Now, what we're looking for, we don't have, unfortunately. What we really wanted to see here was cheaper research or even altruistic salary. Just things that are going to save us some money in the early game. Unfortunately, we haven't been given that. If you're struggling with this, especially on the harder maps, it might be worth rebooting a few times and having another go and seeing if you're lucky enough to get a cheaper research scientist. As it stands though, we only need a couple scientists. What we are going to need is a logistics skill of 5 and a welfare skill of 4 in total, I believe. And since faster synthesis is basically useless and we don't need genetic skill and she's costing me a lot of money, we're actually just going to fire her. I would generally recommend having a maximum of 2 scientists at this point in time with a focus on logistics and welfare. So, with that done, the thing we need to do mainly is get started with a science center. So we're going to build that over here. It really hates me, this area. I've done this video a few times just doing little tests and stuff, and for some reason this area never builds. We're also going to need a backup generator. We will be getting our normal power stations pretty soon as well, but let's get that on the go. And what I like to do as well, you are going to need a hatchery, and I like to make sure I've got the room for it basically, so stick in the hatchery nice and early as well. And we can get started. It's a really cool method, it really is. I'm very excited to showcase to you folks at home. So we have ourselves our science center. Now I'm going to explain how this works. So the problem is, if we go into our star rating here, you'll see that my appeal is 0. Much like in real life, I have 0 appeal whatsoever, because typically it's dinosaurs that give you appeal. It's kind of the equivalent of dinosaur rating. Dinosaurs give appeal, you manage your guests over here, and that combination comes together to give you your income and therefore your park rating. What we need to do is get appeal without having any dinosaurs in the park, and thankfully there are 2 buildings that do that. It's the Innovation Center over here, and it's also the Guest Attraction over here. And these 2 buildings both carry an appeal rating with them. The Innovation Center gives 100, so does the Guest Attraction, but it's a little bit more complex than that. I'll talk about that as we get further into the video. But our goal basically is to stack Innovation Centers, Guest Attractions, amenities, and then your other basic things like hotels and restrooms and shelters to build a thriving park with no dinosaurs. So, let's do that. So, Innovation Center, unfortunately we need a little research first, which is this one over here, the viewing gallery. So you want to get that viewing gallery researching ASAP. And we'll just skip forward time while that goes on. And hang around. Wonder if any of my scientists like aliens or ghosts. I hope so. I hope so. these trees have been edited to account for the map, haven't they? That's a nice little feature. Right, viewing gallery is done. Now if we hop into here and we hop onto this next stage, this is the one we want, guest attraction here, because you can see it's got guest attractions and it's got innovation centers. Unfortunately, we need to construct an operational viewing gallery to make that happen, so we're going to come back to our attractions and we're just going to stick a cheeky little viewing gallery in there. Doesn't need to be looking at anything exciting, just needs to work. It needs to have power and it needs to be connected to a path. Whilst that's going on, I know some people don't probably do this in a different order. I'm just going to grab the improved power technology. I think it's super important long term, and it hurts my core to use backup generators, so I'm just going to get the power station on the go nice and quick. Whilst we're waiting for our viewing gallery to build. You can see they nearly overlap in terms of timing anyway. So viewing gallery done. Lovely view. It's not bad, you know, there's worse views out there. It's nice that it's actually inside the building now. I really like that. I'm just going to wait for this power station to finish. Just imagine there's like elevator music playing at the moment. There we go. So we've got our power station ready. We'll build that in a second. We can now come back to our, we can now come back to our attractions and get this bottom nodule right here. Guest attraction, configurable, bloody Nora, attraction for guests. So this is why you need your 5 logistics skill. So you can get that on the go as well. And whilst we're waiting for that, we're going to build ourselves a power station. And if you're playing on Canada, this is a pretty good formation to use, like a good setup for what we've got going on right here. And let's connect that up. Lovely stuff. Okay, so power station on the way. Guest attraction modules also on the way. And everything's nice and tight. You know what I mean? Everything's crammed in. Everything's fitting. No, there's no words. There's just no way to do it in a nice way. So, guest attractions are done. So what we're going to do, go to attractions, and we're going to build ourselves an innovation center, which this gap here is just made for us. So we're going to stick that in there. And we're going to go to attractions again. We're going to build ourselves a guest attraction. These are actually better than innovation centers. They're cheaper. And they give the same appeal. Again, ish. And because we're now sort of getting started, what we actually also need is some power up there. But we now need some shops. You know, we need shops in order to make a lot of money. So let's build a little half section here. Sometimes I can be a little bit too wanting to cram everything in. So, you know, feel free to expand on what I'm doing a little bit. But let's just build our 3 shops. 3 little babby amenities. So we need food, we need liquids. Oh. And of course, most important of all, I think we'll all agree, we need shopping. There are not building constraints, game. Why do you hate me so much? It's crazy. I've been so good to you, Evolution, and you still just hate me. Okay, connect all those shops together. Lovely stuff. And that, on a basic level, is essentially done. But of course, there's a few more things you need to make a park viable. So we actually need a hotel, which you see we can't get. We need a shelter, and we need a restroom. These are all contained in the same bridge. This one here, core guest buildings, hotel, shelter, restroom. And you know these are the things you need to make your park viable and to bring in your guests. If we go down here to our star rating, you'll see we actually have a little appeal now, 100 from the cinema, 100 from the innovation center, but our guest total is very, very low because our guest comfort is so bad. And we're like, well, what we need then is a dinosaur. And you're like, well, BestInSlot, you said we don't need any dinosaurs. You'll see what I mean. So, we're going to hop to the hatchery. And we're going to synthesize the cheapest dinosaur we can find, which in this case is the Struthiomimus. It may be something more expensive for you depending on which map you are, but just pick the cheapest dinosaur there is. I'll fast forward time a little bit here. And then we're going to pick an egg. Again, we're just picking a single egg, just one egg. Don't pick any more than that. And let's go motivated for that one. This is cool. This is, again, these are not my ideas. I'm just presenting them to you. Really big shout out to Mildly Inconvenient, who frankly isn't inconvenient in the slightest. They're convenient. They're never mind. Anyways, so you've got your Struthiomimus. Like I said, we don't need to actually release this. What we're going to do, we're going to click release via airlift. You'll get this arced thing here. And you can see, as soon as I click that, all those research buildings became available, as it says at the top. And now all we need to do, hit escape, hit back or whatever on console, and the Street View Minebus is still there, ready for release. It's not sitting in this part of the hatchery, as some of them do when they get stuck or when you airlift them. It's still sitting there ready to be released, but the research has been unlocked. So you never actually have to have the dinosaur, you just need to get it ready for hatching. And we can go into here, we can go to here, and we can get our buildings on the way. Lovely stuff. Lovely, lovely, lovely stuff. And hopefully, just that simple combination, and then of course we need to fix our shops a little bit, make them a little bit better. There we go, they're all ready. Slow time again. Go into our guests, go into restroom, go into the shelter, and let's grab a hotel. Remember, hotels don't actually have to be near anything to be viable, so you can kind of like stack them miles away if you want to. Yeah. Speed up time. Let those finish, and then hopefully we'll see a pretty big change in our rating and therefore in our income when these are all done. You can see here already, guest comfort is still really low. It's kind of like if anything's at 0%, it brings everything down really strongly. So you can see even though these are all 100%, that's still quite small. But this hotel will finish very soon. And we're still losing money. We're losing about 5k at the moment. But hopefully any second now, this hotel's going to finish. And we'll start making some money. Any second now. There we go. Okay, hotel done. Wait for it. Wait for it. 528. Wait, look at that. Ooh, ooh. 531. Okay, so we're making money. We're not making a lot of money. But the point is, we're making a profit with having 0 dinosaurs in the park. That's really the key takeaway already. Now, the first thing we need to do next... Look at that, it's still just going higher and higher in there. Look at that. Right, 543. Okay, still about the same. So, of course, then what we need to do is go and edit our shops. We need to make these a little bit better. And you can see that greys and greens are our main ones, so we're going to kind of go for those. Really, if you want to do this quickly and you're struggling with your shops, just look at which one gives the most money. That's it. You know, 5.9, the highest I can see there. Do we make more? Yeah, we go to 806. Let's grab that. Any higher than that? 8.3. Sure. Doesn't really matter. Just have a look at that if you want to make your life super duper easy. Don't lose your scientist. This is a good one. This just means don't have a scientist quit, which I've literally never had happen. So job security is a pretty good one to grab. Of course, eventually, as you expand this, you are going to need staff centers and response facilities and all that kind of jazz. But this is the basics. Let's set all these shops up, get them as viable as possible. So again, I'm just looking at the numbers, especially with the small amenities. You're not guaranteed to like perfect everything, so you're really just looking for the best numbers you can get. Let's stick with that one. That's a good one. Fossil display is always a good one. 8,000. Can we go any higher? 8,003. So let's fast forward time. We're on 570, 576, 582. I mean, I'm expecting that to go up a little bit more, must be said. 588, 595. We're making about 7 or 8k per tick now. Obviously, we've basically just doubled our income already. And this is the thing, right? This already is set. I don't have to do anything else. This will just go, and we'll keep making money with no input from myself. The only thing I would have to do to maintain this park is whenever a storm hits and our buildings get damaged, you'd have to repair the buildings, and that's when you're going to want a response facility. And you might want to go on digs and build up your dinosaur repertoire. But the point is, you can basically sit here, bring in guaranteed cash via these buildings, not have to do anything. You could leave this on fast forward and go AFK for like 10 minutes at a time, come back, repair your buildings, blah, blah, blah. Or just sit here and watch something else on your other screen and just repair buildings now and again. And you can just do what you need. You can build up a huge amount of cash ahead of time. You can get all your research done. And then when you're ready, you get your dinosaurs in and, you know, chuck a few dinos in and you're good to go. Had a little bit of a crash there, so I'm just going to show you a couple more things right here at the end. We're going to build another innovation center because why not? I'm just going to stick it in there. It doesn't really matter right now. There we go. Got a little contract done as well. Very handy. And let's get the innovation center built. Now you might be thinking, but BestInSlot, as you often do. If you come into here, you can see that we've got 100 appeal from the cinema, 100 appeal from the innovation center. Now the cinema costs nearly half the price of the innovation center and is smaller. So why would you not just keep building cinemas? And that's because, I'll even show you. I'll even blimmin' show you. Oh no. Gain 93, yeah, I think we'll gain. Hopefully that's going to increase our income again. 613, yep, over up to 13k now. We've hit 1 star. You know, that's going to open up some more research possibilities. Our appeal is up to 300 out of 6,000. So you'd need 600. Wait, 600? You need 60 innovation centers to pull this off completely to max out your appeal, but I wouldn't really recommend that. The point isn't to get a 5-star park doing this, although it might theoretically be possible. The idea is simply to make tons of money, get tons of research done, stuff like that. I'm just going to build a guest attraction here so you can see what it is I'm babbling on about. I'm just going to stick it over here for now. Curve that around there. But how I would do this personally then, if I was going to try to complete Jurassic Challenge Mode like this, is I would maybe fill this entire area, get a really good steady stream of income, you know, do all the main research that I want to do. Obviously some research is locked out because you need to have certain dinosaurs for that to happen. You'd basically just keep going along, making innovation centers, making shops, and that's it. You just shops and innovation centers, occasionally restrooms, shelters, just build a park basically. But imagine that your innovation centers are dinosaur exhibits. Other than that, you treat the park the exact same way you usually would. And you just go along and along and along and fill out the area and make a ton of cash. If you then wanted to ramp up the appeal at the end to get that 5-star rating, you'd need a monorail, I suspect, right here at the start or in this rough area. And all I would do is I would research like a Mosasaurus or something like that. Because at the end of the day, you've got the cash. Bring it over here, put a lagoon in, maybe on this back end or over here on the right hand side, put the monorail over there. That's 2,500 appeal right there from the Mosasaurus. It'd be quite easy to just kind of throw in a few dinosaurs at the end to ramp up that appeal and max out your park rating, basically. Because you can see here, appeal is super low, sure, but on guess, this is all 100%. Everything else is hunky-dory, basically. Everything else is running really well. Now, you can see we've got a guest attraction here. If I click this, you'll see it says duplicates in Park 2, and this is actually the problem with guest attractions over innovation centers, although they are smaller, which is cool, and they're cheaper, which is cool. If we go to our appeal, you can see it's got -50, and if you get another one, I think it goes down to like -63 or something like that. The point is, the more cinemas you have, the less those cinemas are worth. So they're not actually worth building. You can maybe have 2 of each, and it would be justifiable-ish past an innovation centre, but not by much. So really guest attractions are there because they're useful every now and again, but I wouldn't really worry about them too much. Innovation centres are definitely your main thing. And this is all you would do. It's super easy. You just keep building innovation. There's nothing else to it, folks. Keep building innovation centres, if you remember which bloody button section they're in. Keep expanding outwards, you know, just cram them all in everywhere and build more shops and rack up your cash and have a successful park. That's it. That's all there is to it. It's super, super easy. Essentially foolproof. You really can't go wrong. And if I was doing this, I would then start to do all my research. Let's say, like I say, I wanted a lagoon. So let's go to our, you know, I want a Mosasaurus by the end. You'd look at this rating. Is okay, so we need 2 stars in our park. We need, yeah, then we could get 2 stars. Wouldn't be that difficult. We just need more innovation centers. I'll show you. We just, let's build. Can I build another one? Let's build one more. Let's get 2 on the go in total. Just to prove this definitely works. Some people will find this a little bit too gimmicky and want to build challenge mode the usual way and have that challenge, which is totally understandable. This really is more just for people who, you know, you want the skins that you can get via challenge mode, but you're struggling a little bit, which is understandable. It's not necessarily super easy, especially on Jurassic difficulty. And if that is you, then this is a handy tip. I will hopefully have a Jurassic difficulty guide at some point in the future that is dinosaur focused. Like, we'll build in the usual way, basically. But, wait for it. There we go. Should hopefully be a nice little boost to our star rating when it catches up. Oh, okay. Park rating, good one. Oh, a lot of money. That's probably for 2 stars. We'll go for that one. Why not? And I suspect what the problem is here, yeah, you can see now that we've gone this way, we need restrooms again, we need amenities again, so you'd put another sort of gaggle of shops here, basically. But you can see our park rating's going up. Appeal's gone up now to unusable duplicate, what? No, it did. Our appeal's gone up to 500, I think that's outdated. We've got 4 innovation centres, that's 400, plus our cinema, that's 500. You just keep going. It's super easy. It's dead easy. It's foolproof. It looks really weird, but if you're struggling with challenge mode, I really, really recommend this. And yeah, genius. So big shout out. Once again, I've kind of forgotten the name. It was at the start of the video. I do apologise. Mildly Inconvenient. There you go. Go check them out on the subreddit. Definitely give them a lot of love. And that's about it from me. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Are you going to use this technique if you've been struggling with challenge mode? And God, am I going to use this technique? Because now I could just sit. I can just go AFK and rack up, you know, we're making 19k every tick now. We're making nearly 20k per tick, which is really good. So I can just kind of go away for a little while. Maybe come back and repair a building now and again. And this is obviously a very simple one. You could keep going and going and going. So it's really cool. I'm really impressed. That's how you set it up anyway. That's how it's done. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And I'll see you lovely folks later. Remember, Prehistoric Kingdom releases tonight. I've had no sleep. So I'm going to try to get a video out tonight when PK hopefully launches the beta. And then we'll have more content proper on it tomorrow. And then, of course, the Early Cretaceous Dinosaur Pack comes out later this week as well. Very exciting week for dino people, which is probably all of you. Thank you so much for joining me. Throw me a like if you enjoyed this video. Definitely go leave some love on the Reddit thread. Cheers much love as always. Bye-bye.
Reaching out.